It's to honor all the unknown soldiers that we've lost throughout time.
The most important thing is getting to honor those service members.
To me, it's like hallowed ground.
Sitting atop a hill at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier honors all those who were killed fighting for our country around the globe and remain unidentified. It was 100 years ago, in 1921, on the third anniversary of the end date of World War I, that President Warren G. Harding officially dedicated this final resting place.
In 1920, the French and the Brits made a Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We followed shortly after in 1921. What we did is we disinterred 4 sets of remains, one from each of the cemeteries in France. Sergeant Edward Younger selected one of the sets of remains by placing the roses on the coffin. This was a really big deal at the time. They had the body lying in state in the town hall, and there was over 15,000 people that passed in a couple of days to pay their respects. That one set of remains went to Paris, and then on a ship, and then into the New York City harbor, and made its way to Arlington.
Professor Fluke, a West Point graduate, today runs a nonprofit organization to aid in maintaining the hundreds of overseas cemeteries that recognize those Americans who died, trying to preserve freedom for others.
There's sadness, there's futility, but there's also pride and honor and glory that one feels when one is there. And I think it's really, really important to keep the memory alive.
We now observe November 11th and the tomb's anniversary date as Veterans Day, a day to recognize all veterans alive and deceased. Today, 3 bodies are housed inside, from World War I, World War II, and the Korean War.
It's kind of hard to put into words the level of respect and honor that you feel for those soldiers. Having served, you feel a kinship with them.
Pamela Frank served as an Army medic for 23 years, both aiding the injured and retrieving remains with dignity, much like the mission of the tomb.
You just feel a level of appreciation for the sacrifice for those soldiers gave in order to do what they did and give their lives for us so that we would have the opportunity to live in freedom. So it's really awe-inspiring.
The tomb is part of Arlington National Cemetery. More than 400,000 military members, veterans, and dependents have been laid to rest here.
If you want to understand what it is this country is about and where it came from, there's no better place to find it than Arlington National Cemetery.
Sergeant Tim French became a member of the Army's Old Guard Caisson platoon after months of training. Riding on horseback, that team helps perform funerals at Arlington.
All you hear is the horse's hooves on the ground, the wagon rolling. That peace, that calm, I've never felt that anywhere else, and I probably never will. It's been an amazing, humbling experience and something I would never trade a day in my life.
It's so powerful. The quietness really just strikes at your heart of what people have done for this country. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is actually protected by an Army unit. It's called the Old Guard. These folks are so precise, and the uniforms are so perfect, and they give such honor every time they do a change of guard, and it literally will bring tears to your eyes every time you see it.
Everything we do here is for a reason.
Sergeant Chelsea Porterfield is the first female sergeant of the Old Guard at the tomb.
Tomb guards walk and they take 21 steps, pause for 21 seconds, change shoulders for their rifle, take 21 more steps, and that is to render the highest honors that we can bestow on our nation's unknowns.
6 different Old Guard platoons work at Arlington. The team at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier has been walking those precise steps since 1948, 365 days a year, multiple times each day, in every kind of weather.
I kind of got fascinated by Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, really when I watched a movie called Garden of Stone, which came out in the 1980s. The movie was actually part of the reasons why I joined the military.
Tony Cho, UMGC Europe Vice President, visited the tomb just before he was about to be shipped out.
I was a lieutenant in the Army. I had just gone through 2 years of infantry training. I was in uniform myself, and really considering the tomb and what that represented, I think hit me pretty hard. There is this honor and heroic thing that you get to do, but on the other hand, there is the ultimate sacrifice that you could potentially make.
The layout, the landscaping, the architecture, it's just a beautiful area that they've created to honor these soldiers.
This symbolizes that America will never forget people who sacrificed their lives for our country, and I think the families appreciate that.
This is a place where they can come and they can recognize the fact that this nation remembers, this nation honors, and this nation grieves with them.